Oh. Hey all, how's it going? Your good buddy Jody Sharp, the Superfly. What's going on all? Yeah, so I don't know. I've been in some chats this morning with people, and don't worry, the Mrs. Superfly, she's just quietly off to the side. But I'm sure she'll just say hello all. Say hello all to them. You can say hello all.
Hi everybody.
There you go. There's a hello from the Mrs. Superfly. She's tidying up. We just had lunch and whatever, so she's just tidying up. She's a beautiful woman. I love the Miss Superfly. Anyways, for those of you who I might have been in chats with this morning, I got a new fly rod last night. Now, I know what you guys are thinking. Superfly, do you really need another fly rod because you've got 10 fly rods? The answer is yes and no. Technically, I did not need a new fly rod, but the short answer of it is I went to Walmart last night with Mom, the mother of all Superflies, and the Mrs. Superfly, and they had these Superfly fly rods with my logo on it. Well, it's not my logo. Superfly as a company, not me. So, I mean, I don't own the Superfly name, but there's a company called Superfly, and Walmart carries all their products, or a lot of their products, in Walmart. And anyways, when a few years back, like when I started getting really super heavy into fly fishing, like years ago, Superfly came out with these Superfly rods, and I bought one and I really loved it, and that's kind of how I kind of adopted the Superfly, because I tie flies, super flies I tie, and you know, and I really like Superfly products. I mean, for the most part, they're really good. Their fly rods are pretty decent. So this 4-5 weight fly rod, I think it's a 4-5. Yeah, so this is a 4-5 weight, 4-piece Superfly fly rod. I won't put it all together here because you won't see it anyways on camera, but I got it. This rod is usually $150 for this rod. It has been for years. Anytime I've ever gone to Walmart and saw them, they're $150. The first Superfly rod that I ever had was $150. It was also a 4-5 weight, and I wrecked the tip one day. I broke the tip. I don't know if it was in a car door or I snapped it. I don't know what happened, but so for all these years I have had a Superfly rod, but with a tip that I had to fix. But when I saw these ones, look, I don't know if you guys can see on the camera. I'll lean it in nice and close. Look at that price. $29. I'm like, $29? And I thought even with tax it was going to be like $35 or something. $32, boys and girls, at Walmart, a Superfly rod. Now, I don't know if every single Walmart has got them for that now. I live in Bowmanville, or my mom lives in Bowmanville, Ontario, Canada, which is about 20-30 minutes from Ajax. And all the Walmarts, I saw a thing, all Walmarts from the States and Canada apparently are shutting down, getting rid of their fishing department. I saw a documentary on it. I'm not going to get into all the specifics about why and whatever. I'm not 100% sure, but I did see a documentary. So every time I've been going to Walmart, these rods have been getting reduced. Not just fly rods, like all their fishing gear. So when I saw this one, it went from, on this sticker shows $85 to $29. I mean, that's crazy. But I know they were $150 before, like they got reduced from $150 to $85, then to now $29. I can't imagine them going any cheaper than this. I had to buy this rod. just because of the Superfly on there, just because of the logo. Because you know what, that goes hand in hand with my branding. I do use Superfly products. Obviously, I use their rods. I make flies, not rods, but yeah. And if Superfly ever notices me and wants me to be a brand ambassador for them or whatever, I would be happy to be your brand ambassador, one of your brand ambassadors. Yeah, I'm really fond of Superfly products. My first Superfly rod, I caught thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of fish on them. So I really like them. So this isn't an unboxing video, but it's a setting up video. So I'm gonna clip this tag off here because we don't need that on there anymore. All right. The rest of the pieces are good. And I'm gonna clip this piece that holds the rod on. I only have sort of one complaint. If I was going to complain about the Superfly rods, I have one complaint. See how the you can pretty much screw that off. Like you can literally screw that whole thing off. That is my only complaint. They should have put a stop on there. So legitimately that would be my only complaint about the Superfly brand. But what I do like is that the grip is it's a fairly nice cork grip, and this screw will screw really decently tight when you screw it on. So I've never, in all the fly rods I've had, like the Superfly rods, I've never had one come off the end like that. But if you buy there are better brands of fly rod, I'm not going to deny that. They will come with a metal stop at the end so that it's pretty much not going to come off the end. So that would be legitimately my only complaint with them, but it's not enough to stop me from buying them or fishing them, because the rest of the rod, so other than that one thing, the rest of the rod, a really nice flex. They're really sensitive. They really allow you to catch a lot of fish. And I always have bought the 4 or 5 weights. They obviously come in higher weights. I've always fished with the 4 or 5 weights. Really, really good. You won't be seen on camera if you go past Miss. Don't worry. Miss Superfly always doesn't want to wreck my video. She's afraid that you guys are going to see her and she thinks it's going to wreck a video, but she always doesn't want to disrupt me when I'm doing stuff because she thinks it's going to be disruptive. But I think really you guys love the Mrs. Superfly and the mother of the Superfly, and I think when they come on camera, I think it's a blessing. So what I find more disruptive is when the garbage truck is out there beeping, or yesterday we had fire alarm testing. So any of you who were in chats with me yesterday, I would have been talking about how they were testing our fire alarms for 2 days in a row, and it was like, bup, 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 fire alarm test, bup, 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 fire alarm. So every single apartment in our building, when they test it, they got to go in there and do that, and it's heard throughout the whole building, not just the unit they're in. So I don't know how many units. We have 16 floors, and I think 15 units on each floor or something. So a lot of units, and it takes 2 solid days to get through it. So yesterday was a big pain in my butt. But anyways, so I've taken the wrapper off, so nothing like a fresh cork on a fly rod. Feels so nice. And as you guys know, anybody who's done fly fishing, and you know, once you take the plastic off the cork, it's going to get dirty. But you know what? A dirty cork just means it's a loved rod. It means you take it out and you fish it. So it's kind of like a Bible. If you open up your Bibles and you read them, they're going to get bent and wrecked and stuff. So a perfectly clean Bible sitting on the bookshelf never touched, never used, never loved. Not good. So if you don't have any nicks, dings, or things on your rods, it means you're not really playing with them, you're not really using them, and it's kind of a bit of a shame, really. So I say, I mean, you get the gear, you might as well use it, right? Anyways, this is the butt section of my Superfly rod, and then of course the reel, Superfly reel. Now I am gonna make a little caveat here about the reel. Actually, you know what? Let me just take it out. I think it can come out of there. Actually, give me a second. At least I thought they could. Surprisingly, maybe I've never taken it out. So the reel, a Superfly reel from the Superfly company, at least on these rods, is not the greatest. I'm not putting them down. I'm just saying there are for sure better reels. But if you're starting into fishing, it's not a bad rod for $150. It really isn't. And this, oh, my battery's about to die. Anyways, guys, if my battery dies, then you'll know why this video got cut short. No, you can't. It's can't be. Don't worry about it, honey. I'm not gonna. Anyways, guys, I'm gonna take this line off. Superfly reels are good. They'll catch you fish. You'll catch fish with them. They come with a decent line. So for, in this case, going out of business for $30. And we're back. So I'm gonna have to join these videos together, but that's okay. The battery did die, but I plugged in my camera, so we're all good. But as I was saying, I'm gonna try and get this wrapper. You got a line protecting wrapper on here to protect your lines, and you gotta be a little gentle when you go in there and take it off. But it'll come off. There we go. And of course you've got your Superfly reel. And it's got tension, so you can put your tension on. I gotta try and carefully get the end of the line. This is always fun on a new rod. Oh, they have it here. It's taped under with a piece of tape, which is kind of good. Alright, so there's the end of your line. Now I'm going to loosen off the drag. So as you see, they got a clicker, and it comes with a tapered line, and it's more or less ready for you to fish. I do not overly enjoy a tapered line. I like to make a loop at the end, and I will take my bobbin and make a secured loop onto which I attach my line. So that will not be staying on there. But if you do like to have a tapered line, they have a fairly nice taper. It goes from a, I don't know, it feels like a 15 pound test, and it tapers down probably 6, and then it feels like it goes to about a 4. So it's not a bad taper. I mean, it's good. It's a good tapered leader, and they just have it tied on. Like I said, I never fish with the line like that. I always fish loop, no matter what I'm fishing, whether it's trout, regardless. I don't put my lines on like that. I never have, and I'm probably going to say I never will. But if you guys do, if you guys are fly fishermen already, and you do, it's not a big problem. It's if that's what you enjoy, do it that way. But like I said, I always make a little loop. So I'm actually gonna, right now, I'm just gonna cut that off, that tapered line, because I can tell you right now, I'm not gonna use it. And if I do use it, I would just reattach it with a loop. So basically, to attach a loop to a loop, you basically make a loop knot like this. And if you go through it twice, it will make it super, super secure. All right. So that is a really strong loop knot right there. And you trim it almost flush. I like to leave just a small tag. But even if you catch, let me just put it on here and show you guys so I have something to grip. Even if you catch a huge fish, that is not going to come undone. A loop knot, a double loop knot, is a super, super strong knot. And I have never caught a fish big enough to pull off a loop knot. Now, I suppose if your line is really old, like if it was a 15-year-old line that you've had sitting around, and you see, the thing about monofilament, so my leads are always monofilament leads, right? So you got your fly line, which can tow a boat, and then you've got your lead line, right? And regardless of it, the weight, whether it's 15 pound, 4 pound, 3 pound, 2 pound, whatever. If this, every year your line degrades a little bit, your mono line just degrades. So if you buy a new spool of mono and you don't use it, and for fly fishing, you probably aren't going to go through a spool of line like you do on a spinning reel, because you're only using little, 6-foot sections of it at a time, right? At most. So you don't go through it that much. So often you buy a brand new, 6 test or 4 pound test, and you go through it, a little bit of it in the year, and then you're done with it. And then if you use it next year, it's going to be a little weaker, and the year after that, a little weaker, and the year after that, a little weaker than that. If you replace them, I usually buy a new one every year. I buy a 6 pound, a 4 pound, and a 15 pound test every year. And I don't use the 15 pound much, only if I go for carp. But my main focus is not carp. I mean, I love to catch carp once in a while. If I get there, I always bring a carp rod, because if I find a bunch of carp, I pull out the heavier rod, like the 8-9 weight, and I'll fish them. And here in Ontario, we get some pretty big carp. So I don't go carp fishing with my 4 pound or my 4 or 5 rods. I just don't. I use my bigger rods for carp and garpike and muskies and things like that if I go for them. But you guys, if you know the Superfly, I mostly fish for trout, brown trout, speckled trout, and rainbow trout. And then I fish, that's in the spring, and then in the summer I fish for largemouth bass, smallmouth bass, bluegills, crappies, sunfish, rock bass, perch, and chub, and mostly that's my main fishing is that. And this year my goal is to catch some more carp, because I'd really like to catch some more carp. So this year I'm hunting for some carp, and I am going to be hunting for some garpike, because I have caught carp, but I've never caught garpike. I've come close to catching garpike. I've had a lot of hits, but I wasn't using flies that would really be good for garpike. So I have actually made some garpike flies. That is the plan. But anyways, getting back to the rod, I'm gonna just show you as if I made a loop, but I'm not gonna just make a loop knot. I usually I usually tie it with thread, but I'm just going to pretend as if I did that because it'll still show you guys what I did. And again, if I was going to do that, I would do two spins around, and then that will make a really strong loop. And if you're attaching a loop to a loop, basically you put your loop, you put your fly line through the loop like this, and then you take your fly line and you push it through your fly line loop like this, and then when you pull them together, it makes a tight loop, right? So it just makes a nice continuation from your lead down to your thing. And should you ever have to change it, you can just pull it off like so, and it just unloops like that. So it's really simple, the loop-to-loop system. Fly fishing is really, really not that complicated, guys. Setup is not that complicated. You know, it's really, really a simple process. It really is. And of course, you can set your line left-handed or right-handed, depending on how you need to fish it. And of course, you know, you can tighten your drag up. This little knob here tightens your drag, right? So you can add extra drag. I will say, if you're fishing very large fish over a long period of time and you have your drag set very heavy, Superfly reels, they can burn out. So if you take a 4 or 5 weight with the reel that comes with it, the reels are not as strong. But if you're just pan fishing, like bass and the things I fish with, this reel will last you a long time. It'll do the job. So, but I know some of you out there like some really fancy gear. But right now, anyways, this is 2026, May of 2026, and I can tell you that all across Canada and the U.S., Walmarts are starting to shut down their fishing departments. And if you go into Walmart, you might be able to get yourself a spectacular deal on a rod. And if you've never fly fished before, this might be the time to pick up this, because for $30 you can't go wrong. You'll get everything you need, minus the flies, of course. You'll have to purchase some flies or learn how to tie them. If you hang out with me, I'm going to teach you how to tie them. That's a whole nother thing. But if you wanted to get into it, fairly simple for a very small amount of money. Now might be the time. Go check your local Walmart. Let me know in the comments if you find a rod and reel combo at Walmart. They don't only have Superfly rods. They have some other fly rods as well. So check it out. Let me know what you find. Not just for me, but let me know in the comments, because I'm going to tell, you know, if you find a good deal somewhere, let me know where you are, what part of the world you're in, what state or town or whatever, and we can let other people know on my channel, so that right now, if you're looking to get into fly fishing and you live near a Walmart, you might be able to get into it fairly cheap right now. And like I said, there's just, the reels are good enough. The rods are actually really, I really have no complaint about the rod, except, like I said, this end butt should have not stimped out on a metal stopper. But saying that, the stopper is not there, but this is very tight. When you put your reel into your grips, right? I'll show you now. I will screw it in tight. It is a very tight grip. and I do really like that. So I mean that is not going anywhere. So when you're casting, I hardly ever have my drag set tight. When you're casting with your rod, that is not going anywhere. So at the end of the day, this is for this little small thing. I'm not going to cry about it. And I was even happy when I paid the $150 for the first one. I fished it for many years, probably like 10-15 years before that thing. Before I snapped the tip off, this part of the rod never bothered me. It never caused me any grief. So yeah, guys, that's it. Again, this rod that I got is a 4-piece. One thing I will say that is nice, they have the little dot system, which is always handy on rods, because if you line up the dots, so it shows you dot to dot, right? When you line up the dots, they've got them actually very accurate. So it lines up pretty straight. I don't even use the dots, but it does help you to know that when you set up, your lines are accurate. And like I said, this is I'm not going to set it all up because I don't want to break it off in here. But it is an 8-foot 4-5 weight. So a very nice rod. I'm very happy with the purchase. Can't go wrong with that. And yeah, I mean, what else can I say? It's a good rod, guys. If you're looking to get into fly fishing, now's the time. Now's the time. So I'm gonna cut it off here, ladies and gents. I love my new fly rod. I had to walk out the store with this for $29. Like I said, with tax and all in, $32. Couldn't go wrong. I was thinking to even buy another one, but I thought, you know what, they only had like 20, I think, how many, honey, 15 or 20? Mrs. Superfly, I think, said 15, right? Yeah. So they had about 15 left, and I thought, I better not be greedy, because I have rods. I have like 10 rods. I have them from 1 weight all the way up to 10 weight. And everything in between, plus a Tenkara rod. So does the Superfly need another rod? Absolutely not. The addiction is real, folks. But I did need one that said Superfly. Cause I do have one that says Superfly, but like I said, the tip is broken, and it just doesn't fish. Once you break the tip off of a rod, regardless of whether it's a spin rod, a fly rod, bait cast rod, whatever, any of you know that you can still fish with it, but it just isn't the same after. It isn't going to be the same. Regardless, like, you can fix it, you can put another tip on, you can, if you snap a guide or whatever, you can put another guide on, but once you snap the tip off a rod, it's never quite the same after that. It just doesn't feel the same, it doesn't fish exactly, and if you snap a couple of inches off the tip, like, it does matter. It does matter, because when they build these rods, they use a very precise system, and if part of it isn't functioning, it just isn't functioning. And like I said, you can go out with a stick. You can cut a stick off a tree and tie some line on there and catch fish. Absolutely. But when you're fishing with a rod that's precisely made and precisely machined and put through the proper processes and everything, and I'm not a rod builder, so don't mark me on that. I'm just a rod user, not a rod builder. And trust me, guys, I don't fish with expensive gear. Probably the most expensive gear I have. I do have a center pin. I have 2 center pin reels. They're my most expensive thing, and they cost, one was $250 and one was $400. So I can tell you with all honesty, like that's my most expensive gear, and I don't fish with expensive gear. Like I really don't. I have a noodle rod. I got it on sale for, I think it was a $250 rod, and I got it an Akuma, and I got it on sale for I think it was $85. So that was a spectacular deal. But if a rod is more than $150, I am not buying it. I'm going to tell you that, regardless of that. So none of my fly rods are over $150. I have some max catch rods, so like my 1 weight, my 3 weight are max catch rods. They came with the reel, with the line, and everything included. I think I paid $130 for each of those. So not overly expensive, but they work great. I have no complaints. And to be quite fair, like I've fished with some rods from buddies that have let me fish with an expensive rod. I don't really know the difference. I can't feel the difference. I can't sense the difference. I don't think having a more expensive rod is going to prevent me from catching fish. So at the end of the day, guys and girls, I just say go in there, give it a shot. I do recommend, if you're new to fly fishing, if you're catching smallmouth bass, trout, largemouth bass, or any of those panfish, perch, bluegills, any of those type of fish, catfish, whatever. Maybe not those giant channel cats, but like regular catfish, like mud cats. Any of those kind of fish, perch, chub, any of that, bluegills, crappie. Get yourself a 4 or 5 weight. That'll cover everything. It'll give you a good sense of feeling how it feels. They're easy to cast. If you look back at my other fly casting video with Mom, you'll see it. Easy to cast. They'll get you through, and a nice floating line. Most rods come with floating lines. They don't come with sinking lines. That's a whole nother thing with the sinking lines. But whether you have a sinking line or not, unless you're fishing deep water, like if you're trying to get down 30, 40, 50 feet in deep water with a fly rod, then you might want to look at a sinking line. Otherwise, a floating line is going to do it for you, because you can still sink a floating line. Trust me. You put weight on there or a heavy fly, you'll still sink it. But the floating line is the most diverse line you can get, because you can do a lot with it. And that's it, guys and girls. So the good thing also about most floating lines is they usually come in this fluorescent orange, or they come in a fluorescent yellow, or a fluorescent orange, or a green. They'll often come in like a foresty green color, which is a bit more stealthy. But if you have vision troubles like the Superfly, as you guys all know me, I have some eye issues. That's hence the all caps thing, right? But the yellow line or the bright orange line really helps you to see where your fly is. So when you follow it down to the end, you'll be able to see, where your tippet is and whatever. Yeah, so it's really good. I do fish with the forest green because I do like the stealth of it. And okay, so my vision is bad close up, but far away with my glasses, my vision is okay. It's just close up. So when I'm on the computer, if I'm not with my glasses on, my vision is really bad. So when I'm fly fishing, the line is far from me and my glass is correct for that. So I actually have really good vision when I'm fishing. It's just when I'm at the computer trying to read text, that's where the caps comes in. So anyways, guys, so that's my breakdown and my incredibly good deal of the day for these fly rods. Like I said, go to Walmart. Now's the time to check them out. Let me know if you go to your Walmart, if you're in the States or anywhere else here in Canada. Let me know if they have these on for sale. And even if you don't want to buy one, like if you're not looking to get into fly fishing, that's cool. But if you just happen to, if you're one of my followers or subscribers, if you just happen to go in, let me know, because I'd be super curious to know what Walmart is actually doing. Because I saw a documentary, and I know here in my part of Ontario, between Bowmanville, Ajax, Pickering, Oshawa, all those Walmarts there are definitely getting rid of their fishing sections, not just fly fishing, but their fishing sections in general. So everything is slowly, all their product and stock is slowly going down the drain, like sales wise. So let me know. I'm curious to know. Help each other out, build the community. So thanks for watching, guys. Love you, Mrs. Superfly. And
Bye, everybody.
yeah, Mrs. Superfly says bye, everybody. So you know what, guys? Keep your fly on the water, tight lines, fish on, Canada, or wherever else in the world you are. And I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.